What's going on, Bud Mashers? I'm Mr. Gamer.
And I'm Kitty Duvall.
And welcome to SBRReports episode 19. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. Yep. I make no apologies for that. Not a single one. Nope.
Also, happy Turkey Day.
Oh, yeah, it is Thanksgiving, isn't it?
Yeah, we're recording on Thanksgiving.
Because we are dedicated and determined to give you the best news we know how.
Well, that and we're off work today, so why not?
Well, yeah, that too. So, let's get started with, because I haven't covered Overwatch enough, sort of, ish, there was an article that went out that Overwatch developers recently have a lag spike, and we all know that an online game, lag kills, lag causes rage. Apparently now the Overwatch developers are trying to figure out what exactly caused this with their new patch and their new hero, Moira, who is kind of like Symmetra and Zenyatta had a baby, and then that baby turned out to be evil.
Evil Mercy.
Yeah, Evil Mercy minus the whole res ability. And now they also have this new Blizz World thing, which is but then again, I kind of fell out of love with Overwatch. There's just way too much toxicity and hatred for me to even really care anymore.
I mean, he also found Destiny. Let's not.
Okay, yes, I am loving Destiny too.
Let's not, because once you get a new game, all the other games go into the box.
Okay, that's not true, because
Except Binding of Isaac, because for some reason you can't put that game down.
Because it's amazing. It is completely disgusting, and I'm pretty sure somewhere bordering along the lines of satanic, but it is amazing.
Bordering? Bordering, you say?
There's angels in there.
Okay, anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's only affecting certain PC users. They have some things that they're trying to do to nail down the issue. Unfortunately, there really isn't a timeline for when it's going to be fixed. But let's hope that it gets fixed before the new competitive season, because we all know that that's going to be a big thing.
Yeah!
Yeah, note our enthusiasm with this, Button Mashers.
Well, I don't play it at all, but I like the characters and the story and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I just don't like playing with other people.
Wow.
What? I'm a single-player gamer.
Yeah, that's why you keep getting beaten in Mario Kart so badly.
Oh, by the way, don't forget to vote on our Twitter poll.
Yes, vote on your Twitter poll to see what video game you would like me to live stream. The way that that's going to work is I'm going to try and have things shunted over to the YouTube or Twitch or however it is that I can do it, because I need views so that I can start monetizing my content again, because YouTube's constantly changes their rules and I was left behind.
Well, I mean,
I'm not bitter.
You probably shouldn't admit things like that. Anyway, look at the time. It's Gamestop time.
Okay, yes, and if you've been listening to our podcast, and I hope you have been, you'll know that we recently covered a story about GameStop's Power Pass and how it's just this amazing deal for 6 months and for only $60, you can get unlimited pre-owned video games. That's amazing, right? I didn't like the deal. I thought it was, I didn't like the deal because it was from GameStop, but it is a good deal for consumers. Unfortunately, now they had to put a pause on the program, and the article from Kotaku states that their servers couldn't handle it, which, I'm sorry, is a load of BS.
I mean, to be perfectly fair, they probably thought everybody was going to be like you, who didn't like them, and was going to pass up on this because, well, collectors typically like their new shinies.
Okay, but to say that their servers couldn't handle it, come on! What you found out was that you realized that you're going to be making significantly less money because you're only getting, for one person, you're only getting $60, $10 a month throughout the 6 months, and they get to just constantly cycle through the games that they want to play. It was great for the consumers, us, bad for you guys. That's really what that boiled down to. The whole service thing's like, you have constant transactions going through. Your POS system gets punched, especially during these Black Friday sales. And you're telling me that it can't handle one more person throughout this whole 6-month experience, just constantly switching out titles of games. Your system can't say, okay, Joe Schmo here has this game, and then, Sandy Sue has switched out. Like, no, it's about the money. Come on.
You sound like a conspiracy theorist.
I am not a conspiracy theorist, but come on.
I mean,
like, I got 4 eyes over here, and I can see that that's some crap. Yeah, I went there. That's what you can do with video. All right. Okay, please, before they roll all the way back there. Come on. Are you okay?
I hate you. Anyway.
I know you do. But yeah, so essentially what they are offering is a refund for everyone who's already participated. They don't have a time when they're going to be bringing this back. So I guess we'll just be keeping you updated with that whenever they decide that their system can handle it. Blow the malarkey.
Well, hopefully they'll come through, but this isn't what we're here about today.
Oh no, we're about something significantly bigger than that.
Yeah. And this is why we decided to do video today.
Oh boy.
Well, mostly because I have makeup on.
What about those things that you don't want to necessarily admit?
Well, I'm cute. I can admit that. But you know what's not cute? EA's loot boxes, because apparently they're predatory.
I never thought that I would hear something in a video game be described as predatory, but then again, I can be surprised. So, U.S. Senator Chris Lee was taking action to, quote, ensure future protections for kids, youth, and everyone else. He was talking about how Predatory, the gambling light, that's what I was going to call it, gambling light,
I mean, it is a gamble.
It is. It's a gamble. It's a gamble on whether or not you get what you want. You pay more money, you get more things. Or, let me rephrase that. You have the chance to get what you want because it's all random. It's completely random.
You can get the same thing 12 times in a row.
But there's always that 13th time. There's always that
like the
one
penny
shot.
Arcades.
Oh, man.
The penny slots.
Do they still? Oh,
the penny slots.
Okay, yeah, but these ain't pennies.
But, that's how loot boxes act.
No, I agree with you. They're just terrible.
This is why if we ever go to Las Vegas, we're going to go there for $10, and as soon as those $10 are gone, we're leaving.
Oh, yeah. So, in the article, Lee explains that legislation could change the way that games with loot boxes are being sold and is being looked at specifically in Hawaii and other states. I personally think this is a great idea. As much as I don't want the government to tell me what I can and can't play, I do want some protection against things like this.
I think a better way to put it is instead of... No, because no one likes the government being involved in a lot of things.
No, they don't.
But there are rules and regulations for a reason. And if something is doing... And if a video game is taking advantage of real-world money...
Yeah.
They need to follow the rules and regulations on what they technically are. And loot boxes and other things like that are gambling. So they have to follow the rules of gambling. And one of those things is that you can't let children gamble.
And you know who else?
And we had a whole thing about that with the dang CL Call of Duty skin stuff, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
That was a whole thing earlier this year or last year.
You know who else? You know who really doesn't want you to gamble to kids? Disney! Disney was not happy at all with this. The last thing that they want is for the magical place on Earth, especially, they own Star Wars right now. Do you really,
a lot.
Do you really think that they want to have any negative press with it? I mean, come on, that is going to be their moneymaker. Do you think that they want any negative press before the movie comes out? Yeah, they're going to be nipping this. They're going to be nipping this in the bud quickly.
I'm surprised they even gave it the green light in the first place. But granted, nobody was really viewing loot boxes until this whole uproar happened.
Now, if you listen to the last podcast, I made sure to update it, stating that that EA has removed the microtransactions, but will be adding them back at a later date. Unfortunately, we don't know when that date is. There's a whole lot of things being done and then pulled back and then going to be put in at some random date. We're just going to be waiting until the next quarter When all this happens,
when they think everything's blown over and everybody's not paying attention. But see, the thing is, EA, out of everybody that does loot boxes, nobody likes you.
No one.
They hate you the most. Let's face it, because a lot of things do loot boxes. It's just that they let the loot boxes break the system.
Yeah, but you know what? There are people who like EA. Financial analysts, which leads...
paid financial analysts.
Oh, okay. Forgive me, I have to build up to this terrible piece. So, let me make sure I'm saying the name correctly. Evan Wingren of KeyBank Capital Markets states that Star Wars Battlefront 2 created a, quote, perfect storm for overreaction. He is a financial analyst who looked at the cost of the video game versus how much time the gamer would put into it, basically $1 per minute. And he states that as far as entertainment goes, video games are actually the cheapest form of entertainment, and thereby the gamers are actually being undercharged for the wonderful entertainment that they're getting. And I can summarize this article by this financial analyst does not play nor has bought video games. You are literally looking at numbers on an Excel sheet or whatever stating that, oh, well, the gamer only plays this much for this time and it costs this much. So, dividing it up, there's like $2 per minute with this gamer. These companies could be making, 15 per minute if they charge this much for this. It's like, are you kidding me?
I mean, if y'all want to do that, that's cool and stuff. There's a lot of people, because at least in my demographic of gamers and people that I know game, if it gets to a point that the base pay and what I pay later on is not working out and your game still sucks, that I don't know what to tell you. I'm not going to bother buying your games.
So I will.
I'm not going to pay $60 for a game and later on put in $200+.
Yeah, I don't think I think the max I've ever put in a video game was Borderlands 2, because I bought all the I bought all the DLC for that and all the Headhunter packs. But that was nowhere close to $100. It was worth it, but the base game that I got, my $60 game, was still amazing. But
Anyway, continue.
Entertainment. Mr. All entertainment. Okay. But to Ringwin's defense, he did state that gamers aren't overcharged, they're undercharged. Parentheses, and we're gamers, close parentheses. I'm sorry, I don't believe that, and this is not the time and place to define who and who is not a gamer. Not even gonna do that. But he further states, this saga has been a perfect storm for overreaction as it involves EA, Star Wars, Reddit, and a certain purist gaming journalism outlets who dislike MTX, microtransactions.
Wait, did he really call it purist?
Yes!
Oh, you lost all credibility, boo-boo.
Yes, because it's
boo-boo,
bad that we don't like that. It's bad.
Boo-boo, once you start using that troll language, not today, Satan. Not today.
Oh, we're not even done.
Oh, Lord.
Further going through the article. When it comes down to, in Ringwin's estimation, is a simple measurement of cost per hour relative to other forms of entertainment. He reckons that at $60 for the base game, plus $20 per month in loot boxes, Battlefront 2 works out to about 40 cents per hour if you play 2.5 hours a day for a year. Compare that to the $3 per hour for a movie watched in a theater, and video games look like a real bargain. Quote, if you take a step back and look at the data, an hour of video game content is still one of the cheapest forms of entertainment, Wingman wrote. Quantitative analysis shows that video game publishers are actually charging gamers at a relatively inexpensive rate and should probably raise prices.
Huh. So, let me get this straight. One, you compared video games to a movie. Look, I go to the movie times in the afternoon. One, when the kids are in school, and I don't have to worry about watching My Little Pony because the kids are in school. And two, the tickets are $6. So, come on, son. Also, does that mean I need to now be charged more when I watch a DVD that I bought?
Well, I think, and I see where he's coming from. He's purely looking at the numbers, like purely just that price point there.
But I have so many questions. Is this for online gaming only? Is this also for single player games? Is this also for games you're not going to be online? Because, like, where are these numbers coming from?
This cannot, I feel like something like this can only be, you can only use this also, analysis with AAA titles, because could you imagine trying to do this sort of cost per hour analysis for...
People already try to, like, screw over indie devs with your game is too expensive when it's like $15. So...
Yeah, I've all, like, that... Once again, that's something for a completely other time. I mean, throughout this whole debacle, EA stocks have dropped, so not quite sure where you're coming from with the whole, we are actually being undercharged. A lot of people actually believe that we're being overcharged. And I will not say that the popular opinion is correct, but I will say that if enough people are saying it, perhaps it's something to look into. Maybe.
Like, we're already at the point where you pay $60 for the piece of crust, because I just love that meme, and you gotta pay every extra to get everything else on your pizza. Like so you're telling me, not only do I gotta pay for the crust, not only do I gotta pay for my sausages and pepperoni, and God forbid my cheese.
You're actually not being charged enough for that.
I'm not being charged enough for that. You want to pay for my Pepto-Bismol too?
At this point, following along with this trend, if the idea is
I'm paying per bite. That is literally...
No. Not even paying per bite.
Per chew?
No, not even that. If they go along with this, stating that the developers could actually be charging us more, our base game prices following that will have to increase because they're undercharging us. Which, at that point, going along with the Xbox One X, the most powerful console, because remember, that's for the gamers with the refined
the game
taste.
Connoisseur.
Yeah, the game connoisseur. So, is that where we're going to be going to now? Because they want to make their money. We want to be able to afford and play the titles, but obviously we aren't necessarily made of money, and we only can, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Some people can only afford to get a particular item, a particular thing. So are you just going to be further, you're just going to be kind of putting a gate between, well, if you can't afford this, then you can't play it.
God, when did gaming become so
business-like?
I guess when we grew up.
Well, I'll put it to you like this. And this is actually something I've spoken with a lot of people. The idea is no longer, I'm going to make a fun video game. I'm going to make a fun video game. I hope it makes me money. It's now, I'm going to make a game that makes me money. I hope it's fun. That's the idea now. It's not to make something that's fun. It's to make something that makes you some money. And if it's fun, that's a plus. I feel like somewhere that got switched. Unfortunately, I can't necessarily pinpoint when, but I believe that to be the case.
I think somewhere between extreme console wars, and I say extreme because let's face it, back when we were kids, at least I didn't really pay attention to console wars.
Well, I had them all, so.
Precisely.
Thanks, Mr. Gamer's mom and dad.
Hi. But it just blows my mind how corporations essentially transform medias over time.
Yeah.
Because, people say, oh, you can't make money off of gaming. You can't make money off of Let's Plays. And now look at what's happened to YouTube. Like, YouTube...
I would say that what's going on with YouTube right now is maybe not the best. But I see your point.
My point is that there's this trend of things just forever changing as these bigger businesses realize, oh, we can make money off these people. Let's screw them over. Because let's face it, most of their demographic are our age and younger. Like, if we're gonna younger than us, actually. Like, early 20s. Like, the ones who have time to sit at home and game consistently.
Well, remember, in order to meet that price point, you have to be playing 2.5 hours a day.
Yeah, precisely. So, toddlers, because we all know once you hit 7th grade, they hit you with that homework. Oh, that homework.
Man, I'm glad I don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah,
but
no,
anyway,
you just have to work.
What I do want to stress in this is, though I completely disagree with the argument that the analysis was the analyst was making, I do see the point. I do see where they're coming from, because though they say that they're gamers, I feel as if they were just saying that, where it's like, oh, hey, what's that one meme? Hey, how are you, fellow kids? You know, that stupid meme. I really feel like that's where he was going with that one. That way, when the flames started coming, you'd be like, oh, hey, but no, don't worry. I'm one of you. It's cool. I mean,
to be perfectly fair, he could very much be, but that's why I say with something like this, one, who asked you? Because depending on who asked you, that means they paid you. I'm just saying.
Well, I think the thing that I definitely feel like the thing to take away.
It's a very biased sounding article.
Yes.
It's what I'm saying.
And what I want people to take away from it is that with the push that gamers are putting towards actions like this, like microtransactions, I feel as if developers will realize that perhaps that's not necessary in their game to make money. If your game is good, then you will just sell as many copies of it that people are able to get their hands on. And what you don't want is to have a price point so high with your video games where you get the whole, only the 1% of blah 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 can get it, because I mean, at that
then
point,
you're not making money.
Well, you are, but you're making money in such a small pocket of the people who would want to play it.
It's called a niche market, and you end up losing more money that way.
And then you end up with a lot of pirated games.
Precisely.
You end up with a whole lot of pirated games.
If I want to pay microtransactions, the only place I accept it is mobile games, because mobile games are
Animal Crossing.
Because I'm playing Animal Crossing, and it's fun, and it's the only time I'm like, I might actually buy some stuff.
Oh boy.
But even then, it depends on how fun your game is.
Yeah, EA has felt this one.
I don't want things like that in my console games where I've already paid X amount of money for. Like, no. Free to plays is one thing.
Well, yeah, because they got to make their money somewhere. They gave you the game for free, yeah.
But on something I literally bought.
Literally, what is this, Leafy?
Anyway,
sorry, had to do it.
On something I literally bought. This sounds like someone got paid to say this, and I can't.
I mean, EA needed a defense. EA needed a defense, and this was the defense. It doesn't make it a good one.
People are blowing it out of proportion. Loot boxes to this extent is stupid.
I mean, think about it. Other games have done loot boxes and haven't gotten this sort of unwanted attention. So I think it would... But
again, I go back to the whole, those other loot boxes did not break the game.
True. No, mostly that was cosmetics. Mostly it was cosmetics.
It's like, ugh.
So that we don't go on a further tangent, what I will say is, for the people who do not support microtransactions, who do not support EA's actions, continue the trend of say it with your money, not your mouth. Because to be completely honest, they could care less what you say. But if it hurts their bottom line, you bet your buns they'll do something about it. I had to make sure to keep that PG. They will definitely do something about it in the event that it hurts their bottom line, because they're a business and that's what they want. They want to make money, and they're going to adjust anything that they have to where their bottom line isn't hurt.
Yeah, don't trust companies to be all about you. Trust them to be about your money. So you got to talk with your money.
You do. That's a good point. So, with that being said, this is Mr. Gamer.
And this is Kitty the Ball.
Signing off.